Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. Today we have the Fender CC-60s. So it has a solid spruce top on it. This guitar has been out on the market for a few years now. They're still selling like hotcakes, and they're currently on sale at your local Long McQuaid or on their website for $259.99, regular $289, so save $30. Put that into some extra strings because the strings that come with these are okay, but they do play, they do tune, and sounds pretty good. Anyway, so we do have a solid spruce top on this. We have a walnut bridge and a walnut fretboard, plastic nut and saddle, plastic pins. We have a bound fretboard as well with what I like to call medium frets, even though Fender says they're vintage frets. I just call them mediums because of the size. Multi-layer binding on the front, single layer binding on the back. Now the back and the sides are laminated mahogany and a mahogany neck. Alright, we have very good high quality strap pins, which that actually shocked me, especially for A, Fender, B, price. Okay, and of course we do have some half decent tuners on this thing as well, which is a style of tuner that I kind of like. The turning ratio, I'm going to take a wild stab at it. They're probably only a 14:1, which is pretty common for these cheaper tuners at that tuning ratio, which are still pretty good. Okay, I just prefer much higher tuning ratio, so if you do too, you'll have to buy some really high turn ratio tuners. So that's just your option, right? But as it comes, the tune's fine, stays in tune, we're good, right? Anyhow, at the price point, it's a great guitar for beginners and intermediate players, and for us advanced players as well, really great guitar if we want something that's very inexpensive that we really don't care about as a kicker guitar to just play and do stuff with, right? There's no electronics in this either at this price point, you know, from Fender, so keep that in mind. It's not going to plug into anything. If you want to plug in electric acoustic, there are other options, okay? Anyways, CC also means concert size. They also have the CD version, which is also a dreadnought style body, but it's also fuller sized as well. Much more louder, more bass response, etc. Right? This is the concert size, so it's a little bit smaller. Not a whole lot though, but a little bit, but still got very decent bass out of it. Really balanced in the sound, I find too. So we went to Long McQuaid in Gravenhurst, Ontario yesterday because it's a brand new store. They just opened their doors for the first time yesterday. They're still not fully stocked, but you could have fooled me. They've got a ton of stock in there. And they have stuff in there I've never even seen at the North Bay location. And if you're very familiar with a gentleman by the name of Chris at the North Bay store, who is an assistant manager there, he is the manager of the Gravenhurst, Ontario store. So definitely go in. He still has his sense of ha-ha, which is really cool. I love joking around with Chris. He's so cool. Anyways, but regardless where you are, there's almost 100 stores across Canada, and you do have the website as well to order from too, so no problem. And of course, as always, outstanding performance warranties, outstanding service period with Long McQuaid. I love dealing with them, and I had no intentions of buying even a guitar yesterday, but I did come home with 2 new toys, so you'll have to stay tuned for the next video to find out what the other toy is. But it is something I've been looking for a while, and now I finally got one in stock that I was able to try out a demo version of it on the shelf, and I was like, that's really nice. Pretty impressive. So I did come home with one brand new in the box. We get to do an actual unboxing, which is also awesome. Anyways, this I bought right off the rack, but they did give me a box to bring it home in. So let's play for you, okay? that's our bit of a playthrough for you. With the factory strings, stay tuned too. I will have another video where we're going to put a brand new set of strings on this thing and see what the sound difference is, because these feel like a 54. I haven't measured them yet. I will definitely make sure to make a note of that for the video where we play with the new strings. The new strings I did buy though are 1153s, because it's kind of like one of my favorite gauges, or sorry, 1253s. They're one of my favorite gauges. I like them. They're just so much more comfortable to play on, and the sound is kind of totally different too when you go to a little bit thinner string. Same as when you go thicker too. But I do prefer 1253 over anything. These are pretty good too for the gauge. Now, as far as the rest of it goes, the neck relief on this thing is actually pretty good. It's actually, I think it could go a little bit lower, so that will be adjusted for when I change the strings, because I think it needs a little bit less relief, which will bring the frets a little tiny bit closer to the frets, to the strings, so it's going to be a little bit lower action that way. The action is mainly from your nut and saddle setup, but you know, the relief does kind of help a little bit. I just find the relief on this one is a little bit on the high side for my taste, so it's going to actually come out a little bit lower, which will actually bring the strings a little closer. But no buzzing, no dead frets anywhere. I was like, wow, they did some really good fret work on this thing. So for my kicker guitar, and also being left-handed version, they also have these as well right-handed at the same price. So hey, left or right, same price. Great, awesome. But where do we put this thing? I would say, just generally, I would have to probably say this thing definitely deserves a solid 4 out of 5. You know, definitely a 4 out of 5 for sure. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at, you know, and that's with a high recommendation that if this is something you are looking for, this is CC-60s, which is concert size. CD is the Dreadnought, which is the fuller size. This is still a Dreadnought body style for shaping, but it's just a concert size or smaller size body. It's not all that small. As you can see, I mean, I'm 5'9", you know, and this is still a, you know, pretty comfy guitar, even for me for my arm position. You know, a fuller size body, things would be a little bit more out more, because being a little bit thicker too, but also a little bit larger diameter on a full-sized Dreadnought, which is the average, right? Average full size. You get into like jumbo and super jumbo guitars, which are mental, right? Very good balance though in the sound. But I find a concert guitar is actually a really good guitar if you are not that projected with your vocals and you just want to sing and play, you know, by the campfire and be heard, you know, and also just doing your thing out on the deck like I'm going to do, you know, sit out on the deck and play this and play and sing songs and practice songs outside, because I don't like staying in the studio all the time. I need some fresh air too, but I also got an addiction problem where I need to play as much as I can, right? And I'm also playing to also get this better quicker too. The doctor actually said I could do that, and he said go for it, and I'm like, sweet. But yes, it's going to be good for my purposes, and the price was really good too. So I think it's actually priced really well. And being Fender, I mean, it is a really good quality product. I mean, there are better things out there than Fenders, but Fenders are still really good quality instruments regardless. So, you know, pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is just straight raw recording. I don't screw around with my video and audio settings when I do stuff for you. Well, not even at all, period, but especially for audio. I want you to hear it how it sounds, and I'm recording this, of course, on my DSLR camera with a really sweet Shure mic, so you're going to get a really good quality sound. So hopefully you got some good quality headphones or quality speakers on your computer to hear, because yeah, that makes a difference when you're listening to videos. As far as the scale length goes on this thing, if I remember right, it's like 25.3 or something like that. Just give me a quick second, guys, because scale length is something a lot of people ask about. on these things. And yeah, it's 25.3 is the scale length on this. So pretty common, you know, it's not 25.5, it's 25.3, you know, so works. And of course you got 20 frets, right? Alright, so I guess we'll have to go cut to the next video, because you guys are definitely, I'm sure, looking forward to finding out what else I bought at Long McQuaid and Gravenhurst yesterday. And I'm looking forward to getting this thing out of the box, because yeah, I really want to play myself. So stay tuned for that one, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.